Okay, Ashraf, I just passed you the controls. Looking forward to hearing your voice. It's been way too long, and very interested in the topic you brought to the table today. So all you have to do is enable your mic and your screen. There's your screen. You got your Bloomberg up and waiting to hear your voice.
Oh, hello. Hi, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can hear you, Ashraf. Yes,
Perfect.
Ashraf. What a, yeah, you know what? If you're the only guy I would wait around an extra half an hour for. Okay. And you know, it's been such a long time, and we always had such a, viewers loved it, you know, great chemistry. And I'm very interested in learning from you today. You want to talk about the correlation between the dollar and the yen and which one is truly the leader. That's a correlation a lot of people watch. So great to have you with me again, Ashraf. Let's not let this much time's like the dead clock in reverse. It just ticks away.
Thanks for having me again, Dale. Thanks very much, and sorry for everyone for being late. This is something that was supposed to take 5 minutes, took 25 minutes. Don't ask me what it is. And and just when you thought that the bureaucracy was removed, it didn't. But and first of all, how is your health, Dale? How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, Ashraf.
Wow.
So it's been about 4 years. I'm still breathing in and out. Fired all my doctors, so I'm just you know, making the most out of every day and assuming I'm fine.
And doing the stuff that you like, which helps.
Yeah,
which is very
yeah,
amazing.
like talking to guys like you, and the markets, they're always fascinating, aren't they? I mean,
They are.
I don't think
And,
we have to do brain exercises like a lot of people do later in life because we're trying to figure out the jigsaw puzzle every day.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what interests me. You know, my 4-year-old daughter, she said, "What do you do? And why do you like to do what you do? Why is it always the same screen in front of you?" And I said, "Well, every day, every other day is a new adventure, and trying to figure out the next day, the next month, the next 3 months, the next 4 months. Sometimes we're too late. Sometimes we're too early. Sometimes we're just plain wrong." So let's just get to it. And okay, actually, it's interesting what you said about dollar yen and the dollar index, because I have something in Paris coming up next week, and that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. And as for everybody who trades, you would have seen that, okay, that as you know, the dollar index goes one way, the entire dollar index, but dollar yen goes the other way. The easy explanation, you know, hindsight 2020, is that yeah, because stocks were doing very well, but there's something quite interesting here. So let's just get right to it. And you know, I'm not going to bore you to death here about, you know, euro dollar is a big portion of the dollar index and so on and so forth. You know, for those of you who are just starting, the dollar index is 6 currencies, basket of fixed currencies, 57% of which is the euro dollar. So it does make sense that euro dollar is highly correlated with the dollar index. But what about dollar yen? And here is something else. And then there's another question which everybody is trading dollar yen wants to know. Did the bloody thing break or no? Did it break out or no? Did dollar yen break out higher or no? Yeah. So what do? Do you fit your analysis according to your needs? The weekly chart tells you something. The monthly chart tells you something else. Okay, and actually, when I was right ahead of the FOMC meeting, I was watching 3 things. I was watching gold, I was watching the 10-year yield, and I was watching yen. But let's just do something here. Okay, so there's some, but before I want to get into that, guys, I want to get into a more central question and a less esoteric question. Okay, so I want to get into a less esoteric and a more direct questions, which I think concerns most currency traders out there. Okay, because we don't have a lot of time. It's 2:26 p.m. London time. At 3:10, I need to be out of here. Okay, so in around 40 minutes. So let's not waste each other's time, and let's get right to it. Look, euro dollar, this is euro dollar. This is the weekly chart. So there's 2 major questions. Is this a valid head and shoulder or no? This weekly chart on on euro dollar, is this valid head and shoulder or not? Now, if it is a valid, if this will be realized, then the difference between the head, 125 or 26, and the neckline, 115, so we're talking about 1,000 points, the target will tell you 1,000 minus 115 will be what? 105. Okay, So if this is a valid head and shoulder formation, this means that euro dollar is going to fall. And everybody who listens to me speak, they usually see me as usually dollar bearish. So they're saying, is Ashraf feeling okay? Is it telling us that the euro dollar is gonna break down and dollar is gonna how is he feeling all right? I thought I was not feeling all right. I thought, yeah, could this be right? But here is, and I'm not giving you, this is not my final answer. This is not the definitive answer. This is my opinion on things, and it is the way for you to argue it. So let's look at it. This is the regular head and shoulder, so it's bearish, okay? And I'm not even talking about the inverted head and shoulder, which is very valid, which tells us that we're going to go towards 121. So this is, I mean, actually, let's go with it, and then I will go back to the weekly regular head and shoulder, which takes a while to disprove. But here is the regular. This is the inverted head and shoulder euro dollar, okay, which is basically bullish. So you've got the head 113. Neckline 117, 400 points plus 117, 121. What is 121? The meaning of 21 in life, the birds and the bees. 121 is what? Is here. Is here. Is 121 is just right before the head. And for guys who trade dollar yen, usually this formation right before the head is a big resistance, but it's the left shoulder. But guess what? Guess what? So in this formation, it's a left shoulder. So again, the inverted head and shoulder, I don't want to make you dizzy here by going from one formation to another, but this is a valid formation. It doesn't matter if one shoulder has 2 troughs or 3 troughs. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And there's a head and there's a neckline. It doesn't matter if one shoulder, the right shoulder, has 2 heads. Okay. There is a very, very, very famous euro dollar, which is formation. I want to show you. It's the one that helped me be against most people who were bearish euro dollar and bullish euro dollar. Sorry, and this was in 2017. I just want to take you there. Recurring patterns. This is the big one. It's 2017, and it is this baby right here. This, I don't forget it. This. Okay, so just want to get you. So this is 2016. This is Trump dollar rally. This is a Trump dollar rally here. Trump election. This is the head. This is a left shoulder. And guess what? This is the opposite of the current formation. What do you mean? What do I mean by opposite? Opposite not in terms of looking up or down. The left shoulder has 1 trough. The head has the head. And the right shoulder has multiple troughs. And this was a beautiful thing. The head was 1035. Neckline 108, 500 point difference, 500 plus 108, it takes you 113. 113, yes, that's when the market went to 113. He said, hello, I touched 113, I'm going to take a break. And then you had the Macron election, the victory, which was the biggest euro dollar buy ever. And then you had, if you like, you know,
it gapped up and never
it gapped up. And then not only that, for the different technicals, for the different school of technicals, this was the perfect storm. Sorry to use the cliche. One of them is that finally it went above the 200-day moving average, which was 108. There was a golden cross, 55 above the 200, and then there was another golden cross, 55 above 200. So from the trend technical school analysis, you've got the moving averages, golden cross. You've got the chartist school, which is the beautiful head and shoulder setup. Why am I talking about that? Because if you go here, you see multiple shoulders, multiple troughs on the left shoulder, and so on and so forth. Now, let me go back to this head and shoulder. And usually people who see me talking about, you know, on TV and stuff and this and that, they see me talking about the fundamentals and blah, blah, blah. But let's just get right to it here, the technicals. That, you know, the fundamentals help you, make you smart at understanding the past. Technicals make you better enabled at understanding the present and the future. I'm not saying the fundamentals don't work. The fundamental, if you only trade on fundamentals, you are likely to do well if you work in the 6 to 9 months. You know, Ray Dalio's and all of those guys. But let's go back. Why is this not very valid? Why is this right shoulder is not very valid? Or is it? Let me just show you another regular head and shoulder in the euro dollar that did not work.
Because the right shoulder already took out the left. Could that be why it's not valid?
Okay, I'll tell you why. And here it's not obvious, Dale. Here it's not obvious. If you take a look at this, it seems like a valid head and shoulder. But from an intermarket point of view, Dale, I'm going to show you why. So
Okay.
before I show you why, here is a great example, and all of you who've been trading for over a year will know this. This was the mother of all wrong signals in head and shoulders in euro dollar, and this was October 2017. What am I talking about? It was this baby right here. It was October 2017, November, when the ECB did what they did, and there was a very dovish rate hike and so on and so forth. This, my friends, this. Et voila, here. And it was also a very misleading inverted head and shoulder in dollar index. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Oh, this was September 2017, exactly a year ago. 121 head, 116, so let's say 117. So we're talking about, again, 400 points. 400 minus 117, it gives you 113. Did we go to 113? No, senor, we did not.
No.
113 is here. This was an invalid, so this didn't work out, basically.
It's a failed formation.
It's a failed formation.
Aren't some of your best trades when formations fail because you have everyone wrong-footed in the market?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Some of the best trades are when formations fail, like a failed neckline. People went with the neckline, then it's back above the neckline, and you still have a lot of people on the wrong side of things because they were expecting lower levels. Yes,
but the question is, what makes you different? What makes you different in saying I think people are wrong. I think this is a wrong formation.
Getting back above the neckline. Getting back above the breakdown, negating the breakdown.
You can do that. You can say that. But here is something else.
Thank you. All right.
But here is something else. Here is why I think that this weekly one, even though it looks valid, there is an issue with it. Why is it? And again, this thing called the euro dollar is part of the puzzle called the dollar index, and it's 57% of it. So what we're going to do, Dale, we're going to see whether this weekly regular head and shoulder does translate into a valid looking inverted head and shoulder in dollar index. Okay? Shall we do that? Okay, let's do that. So this is the euro dollar. I'm going to go into the dollar index. Where is it? Where is it? No, actually, wrong chart. Sorry. It's here. It's here. So this is the weekly chart that I was talking about, okay? And let's go to the dollar index. I will let the analysis answer you rather than me telling you what I think it is. So I'm going to go to the weekly because you can look at it better in the weekly. Sorry about the background noise. Busy work in place here. Et voila. I will let the answer. You see, technical analysis, ladies and gentlemen, the most successful, it works with the naked eye, i.e. stuff that you don't have to dig deep in the indicators underneath and so on and so on. So let's look at this. Here is this thing, the weekly on the euro dollar, and I said the right shoulder is questionable. Now you tell me, Dale, what do you see? I'll give you 3 minutes. You tell me, does this look like a valid inverted head and shoulder in dollar index?
Yeah, it could be, but I see a lot of resistance at 95.5, 95.60. That was a very important resistance level for me. So I'm not convinced we're blowing to new highs from here.
Well, Dale, and again, the attendees, please feel free to give questions to Dale. I don't know if I can see the questions here. Let me see.
Guys, any questions? Do you guys believe this is a valid head and shoulders? That's a question Ashraf is presenting to you. And your rationale for why. IZ says no. Why?
It's always about the why, guys.
Yeah. I mean, yes, no is a coin flip. The why is how we learn. I don't see a left shoulder on the Dixie. Marius.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't see a right shoulder here. There's no right shoulder. There's a left. Okay, you know what? I started technical analysis today. Okay, today. And what I'm gonna do here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this like anybody who would be learning would do this. I'm gonna go to this thing called the internet, which Al Gore invented. Okay. So head and shoulders.
I think he was dreaming. He was sleeping and woke up with the idea.
Yeah, I'm in England, and the English says that we invented it. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So each time I go to a place, they say they invented the internet. I don't know. Don't take my word for it. Here is an inverted head and shoulder. There you go. This is a shoulder. This is what a shoulder looks like. Left shoulder, right shoulder. There is a legitimate trough. Now, again, so I'll spare you the detail, but you can look at it. Images, inverted head and shoulder. This is not brain science.
All right, shoulder. So the key is, Ashraf,
where is the right shoulder?
Knowing is really knowing what a valid head and shoulders looks like, rather than just having a vague idea of head and shoulders patterns, and that's going to increase your consistency.
Level of confidence. Level of confidence, because look, if this thing may be euro dollar may be valid, but okay, maybe is this invalid? I've just shown you an instant where it was invalid in October 2017. Now let me go back. If the dollar index is not playing ball, you know, like they said, if it doesn't fit, quit, and everybody is declared innocent. But you see, there is no left shoulder here, and so and what does this mean? So again, I'm showing you something else. And so when the dollar was rallying and euro dollar was falling below, you know, 114, everybody said, that's it, we're going to go to 105, 108. And I was saying, oh man, my thesis that the dollar is going to go back down is totally wrong. Yes, this is an inverted head and shoulder. And then I started digging deep. Now, I am not moving the goalpost. No, I am not looking for something just to fit my needs and my wants and my thesis. No, there is a few other things. And let me show them to you. There is this thing called the dollar yen. So dollar yen, where do we start?
Dollar yen gave you confidence about the call in the dollar.
No. I think dollar CAD gave me the confidence. It was falling and falling. Dale, dollar CAD, dollar Swiss, euro dollar somewhat. But dollar yen, no. Dollar yen was the one that was not working for me, because as the dollar index was peaking or falling, dollar yen was going up, partly because of a rising stock market, because of a broadly falling yen. But guys, I'm going to take you to the weekly chart, and you tell me, Dale. You tell me. This is a weekly chart. Maybe we broke, maybe we didn't broke. Maybe I arbitrarily did not connect this. I connected 1, 2, 3. Okay. Maybe we're breaking this. On the monthly chart, we did break it. We did break it. But then there is something. We did break it. So maybe we could go towards 115, and then we can come down. Then there is something else. If you believe in yields moving along with the dollar yen, as I'm sure you guys do.
I do.
Yields.
Yeah, although that didn't happen last week. Yields came off after the Fed, but U.S. dollar yen kept going up.
Let's look at it, Dale. Let's look at it together. And again, I don't want to impose my opinions on you. My opinions are there. I have them. I'm comfortable with them. But here's what I want to show you. So what is this? This is dollar yen, the yield. No, this is the right one. Here. Okay. So the white is the 10-year yield. Okay. The white, which is the measurement is here.
Right.
The green and the red is dollar yen. Okay. Now look at the white. Let's just ignore the green. The white one is facing resistance here, which is on the 10-year yield. And if you're not convinced with the technicals of 10-year yield, let me just show you something here. Let's just go here. And I'm going to tell you, yes, I'm going left and right and center. I'm going from euro dollar, but this is all part of a puzzle. It's all part of a machine or an orchestra. maybe one player starts to play better, and which one is going to lead the others, it's depending on the extent to which, you know, he or she is convinced with the flow. Okay, and then it depends whether they lead. And this is, guys, I said use the naked eye. Is this resistance to you?
Yes.
Month of May, 311, we come down. Yeah. You fail. Month of June, you come in, you fail, you fail, you fail, you fail, and this is the new month. Let's look at it how it looks on the weekly chart. Oh dear, what is this? Okay, does this, some people say it's a double top, some people say it's just a failure, boom, 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 and then you have the daily. So some people say, oh, it's a lower high. Whatever you call it, whatever you characterize it as, okay, maybe some people say, oh, this is a W formation, and it's going to take the John Murphy, and it's going to look at the index, it's going to call, and it's going to call all the charts, you know, under the sun. Whatever you call it, this is called an inability to rally. And if this is called an inability to rally, dollar yen does not have much going for it, okay? So basically, this is the way I'm looking at it. And then dollar CAD, which is, we were lucky to be short in dollar CAD in the last few months, and then, but then we went in even after NAFTA, and I'll tell you, this is something beautiful about dollar CAD, which is it's not just about NAFTA, but it's about the biggest infrastructure deal that happened in the history of Canada. $31 billion, a Royal Dutch Shell are going to start a project in the west of Canada, which is going to be the biggest infrastructure project in the history of Canada. Trudeau, okay, the leader of Canada, went from a very bad month of June, his G7 didn't work because Trump was taking the mickey out of him in his own house. Now, comes 3 months later, Trudeau wins, he gets NAFTA, and he gets the biggest thing in the biggest infrastructure product. Never mind fundamentals. This thing is called the 200-day moving average. You broke it. Yeah. This thing is called a support. You broke it. This thing called the 55 falling below the 100 DMA. It's broken. We know what it's called. And if you don't like that, here is something else. Here's a weekly chart. Now we're testing the trend line support. I'm going to tell you, we don't have much time, but I'm going to tell you what are one of my favorite trades. I can't leave you with that. Yes, we're holding a big support here, so maybe we're going to take a break at 128. But listen to this. Here are the monthly charts. This is pretty solid stuff. This is a trend line from December of 2015, okay? And the market, maybe it broke, it closed above it. Here, it went all the way above, and I decided to go back at the end of the month and close below it. Here, it closed above it, and here, last month, it went all the way up, and then it broke on the last day of the month was the GDP in Canada, much better than expected. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a case of technicals trying to predict what the reaction to the fundamentals is going to be. And now we're here. So this market, and if you go to the stochastics, if you want to know how to use it, this is called the bearish conversions. The regular, the fast stochastic, meaning the most sensitive, the regular or full stochastic, meaning not so sensitive, and the slow stochastic, which is basically the least sensitive. They're both, all of them, pointing in one direction.
So my impression of this breakout of this monthly trend line is Mr. Market's not going to give you 4 months to buy a breakout and make money. If you're given too much time and a breakout is too many opportunities to buy the breakout, be skeptical.
You mean, yeah. You mean a breakout? How? Exactly. Listen,
I mean, the breakout was 5 candles ago, and Mr. Market saying, "Oh, well, you didn't catch that breakout. I'll give you another 4 months to make up your mind to get long against its line." Be jaded and skeptical. Correct?
You can, yeah, yes. I mean, listen, I'm not, Dale, I mean, you know as well as I do, I'm not saying that you cannot make money by going long dollar CAD. You know, you can, you can. But of course, you can make money in either way, every way, left, right, center, knowing when to get in, knowing when to get out. Don't get too carried away.
But when markets accommodate people too much, you know, that, you know, a market breaks out and then gives people weeks to buy the breakout, how good is that signal? Normally, if you're not there for the breakout or one retest, if it gives you 5 chances to buy it, Mr. Market's not that nice of a guy to accommodate you to make up your mind with 5 opportunities. That's
Unless
the way I look at it.
And as long as exactly, I mean, you can make money in the 15, in the 20 minutes, in the 1 hour, but as long as you are sure and positive and quote unquote confident with the bigger trend. And here is the trade that we made from the 3rd of July. We were shorting dollar CAD from the 3rd of July at 130.150. We closed quickly at 140 pips, even though we were targeting 128. We got out. We got back in at 130.40. We closed, and now we're going back again. And the chart is here, but I don't know if we can see this. Yeah, and this is basically the rationale. So again, so what does this mean? Ladies and gentlemen, now let's go back to euro dollar. Euro dollar is at a place where it's a good buy. Not good buy as in hello, but it's a good BUY. This is the monthly chart, okay? Dale, take a look at this. This is exactly what you just mentioned about the breakouts 5 candles ago in dollar CAD, okay? You said, yes, we broke. Intra-month we broke. Well, look at this. Do you remember when Italy was all the news and they make a government and yields were soaring and so on?
Yeah.
Even though, guys, everybody who is sitting in their sofa, in their chair, in their beach house, in the sauna, in the sofa, in whatever, you take a look at this. When this thing does all of this and it tests 115 and it goes back, May, and then when Italy is about to go back, some people are talking nonsense about Italians leaving the euro, total nonsense. Other people are talking about Germany leaving the euro, total uber nonsense. All of this happens. 115, you go back.
Don't you want to trade Deutschmarks again?
Oh my God. I mean, really, I just got a WhatsApp. I'm on various WhatsApp groups and then this guy says, hey, Ashraf, when do you think Germany is going to leave the Eurozone? Germany is the Eurozone. Germany is the Euro project. They did it in Brussels. There is France, but Germany, I mean, nobody wants the strong mark. Never mind.
Yeah.
Forget all the fundamentals. You just pay attention to this. When something does all of this noise and still respects 115, and it does this noise and it respects 115. If you don't get it the first time, if you don't get it the second time, I'll give you another chance. I'll give you another chance. Oh, it's going to 105. I'll give you another chance. I'll give you another chance. Some people says, oh, but you got lower closes, lower highs. Do you have lower highs? I don't know. This is a candle. This is a monthly candle. Here's the high. Where is the close? And then what does this mean? Does this mean anything? Yes, it means. Does it mean something? It may be. What is this? Just like it's the inability to rally here, and then you finally broke. July 2017, right. Yeah, July 2017, we were getting close to the ECB trying that we're going to reduce. So what does this mean? And now let's go and check this out. Now, the stochastics are trying to fix themselves. Now, so for me, I am more confident in going long euro dollar. Basically, if we do close a 114.80, if we close the week or we close the day a 114.80 or 114.70, then there's a problem. There's a problem. If we close below this shoulder, you got a shoulder here, 115.11. If we do close it for 2 days in a row, or if we close the week, then it's a problem. Then there's a very good chance that we're going to go down. Okay, as long as we don't close it, then we are fine. Okay, there's one trade which I like. Everybody says, Ashraf, you're based in London, and how is this sterling? I made money shorting dollar versus the CAD, shorting dollar versus the euro, shorting dollar versus the Swiss, but I did not dare short the dollar versus the pound. And even on the recent run-up in cable, I did not touch it, but I did not regret. But there is one thing, Dale, which you should look at it. And for those of you who like to trade FX for longevity, you know, with a boring pair, guess what it is, Dale? I'm sure you know which one. It's a sterling pair, but it's not cable. It's a boring pair, but it doesn't take a lot of money. Which is it?
I'm stumped.
It's a sterling-related pair. It's not cable. It's not sterling yen.
Oh, euro pound.
Thank you very much. Gracias.
Yeah, I love that pair.
Gracias, señor. Et voilà. If you're saying you didn't get it, this is a daily chart. And if you're saying you didn't get the signal from the first time, on the second time, third time, okay, yes, we're falling, but we're respecting multiple confluence of support levels.
I love it here.
Okay, and this is something else we are long. And my God, you have to be really patient. For the little hair that I had, I lost a lot of it just being long in this one. This was supposed to be a head and shoulder. I went long in 2nd of May, 87.80. 2nd of May, I just want to show you this. 2nd of May. This was an inverted head and shoulder. Here he goes, Ashraf with his inverted head and shoulders. There he goes. Here he goes. This was, I went in the 2nd of May. I was so happy with myself. We're going to go up. Left shoulder was here. Right shoulder was here. The shoulders start to go up. Rising uptrend. Guess what? It was, we went
sideways.
87.80. Guess what? 87.80. Technically, the head, 86. The neckline, it depends which one. Let's say 88. Yeah. I thought we were going to go up. It came down. It came down. The stop was, you have to have a considerably large stop. 88.30 was the stop. Guess what is the low? 80. No, what am I talking? Here. 86.80 was the stop.
Yeah.
80. 86.97. I was lucky. Yeah. I was lucky. Low 86.
Nothing wrong with luck. Yeah, nothing wrong.
You need that. And
there's a little skill too.
And then you, well, you know what they say. If you, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
Okay, so good luck doesn't come with hard work.
Ashraf, what a great presentation, and you know, I know that you have something going on a little later. The best way for people to follow you is on Twitter. You're at Laidi, but what's the name of your website where people can subscribe?
Yeah, thank you. It's
There you
this
go.
This is it. This is ashraflaidi.com, and basically this is my Twitter. It's Laidi right here,
Right.
And yeah, Laidi. But there's a lot we can cover. But basically, one of the things is that dollar CAD looks good to me. You know, dollar CAD still looks good. The dollar yen, if you want to venture it, be prepared to put a stop above 115. I'm sorry, they can't put it this other way. If there is a way to get into bottom picking, euro dollar is not bad. And then finally, dollar Swiss, this is something for you to look at. Dollar Swiss is also a pair. So here's something for you to look at. And what it is, we're looking for probably a double top, but this is breaking out. So we have to see whether this foundation is going to be taken out. So we have to see this. Maybe there's a trend line here. I don't know what's your opinion on that. It's very expensive for a lot of people to trade dollar Swift nowadays. But this is something to look at also.
Okay.
And, you know, for indices, I don't know how many people of you trade indices. The DAX, we reshorted. You know, there is the big trend line from February 2016. Everybody should know the meaning of this. This is the one that the low from March 09 goes through it. Okay. So okay. Again,
nice luck.
I mean, you said Ashraf has to go. Does that mean that you have to go?
No. No, I thought you said 10 after, 5 after.
Yeah. Okay. No, I need to get people, try to give them as much as they can get. But this is the famous March 2009 low, and March 2009 low passes by February 2016. February 2016 is a very important support because it goes through it, that important, you know, low from the crisis low. And we have, and if you start from February 2016, we are trying to break it in the DAX. And here it is. So the market is trying to make up its mind. And the reason that I put these boxes here is because this is a consolidation box, and the market is trying to get back above it, and it's still trying to make up its mind, trying to get above it. The FTSE is something that I like to short also. The DAX is not bad. Look at the DAX. Here's a daily chart. Let this speak for itself.
Yeah.
This is a trend line.
Lower highs, lower lows.
And one last thing about the Dow, which is something that I've shorted many times and I lost money on many times. But there is something which is the Dow theory, which shows you the following. When you have the lack of confirmation from the transportation index and the industrials index, this thing hit a high, but this thing did not hit a high.
Right.
When this does not confirm this, there is an issue. This sheds light, and there is something else. And if you look at the high, even though the Dow hit an all-time high, is it really an all-time high?
No.
Is it? Yes, it is. It is. This is the high.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
market went above it. It did close, and it is hovering here. But this is something else. Maybe there is not enough conviction here because this guy, this is the riders, the FedEx, the all the transportation
Transport.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
are some people says, oh, you're still doing all the economy stuff. It's a new economy. Get with the program. Okay, that's fine. But what does
yeah.
this look like to you?
The banks too look very heavy.
What does this look to you? What does this
Head
look like?
and shoulders top developing.
So basically, if the transportation is showing you this, while the Dow is still basking in its
Glory.
party here, this really
Yeah.
shows you something.
Yeah.
And then finally, to take a look, the big picture is take a look at all of this. Basically, so this is the Dow, this is the S&P, this is a NASDAQ, and then you've got the emerging market FX, which is for you just to have a look. This is the Chinese yuan. Just have a look at this. This is the dollar versus the Chinese. As long as the dollar cannot go to 7, as long as the dollar cannot go above 7 against the Chinese yuan, you cannot say, this is the moment where the dollar is going to rally and is going to soar and so on and so forth. You cannot do that. You cannot say that. This is a huge level, the 7 level against the yuan.
Right.
We failed it many times.
Double top on the monthly or weekly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's basically that. And there's all that I can talk about right now. Thanks very much, Dale, for having me and pushing me. This was worth it. And but again,
I want to thank you, buddy, my trading warrior brother, for taking the time out of a crazy day you were having to be with us and give us some crystal views on a lot of things. I learn from you every time I hear you.
Thank you very much, and I wish I had more time to ask you your opinion about things. Hopefully, we will do it next time. We'll sit like normal people, taking full hour.
And we won't let 2 years pass before we do it again. I promise.
Definitely. Excellent.
All right, Ashraf. Everyone, thank Ashraf Laidi. Follow him at Laidi. Follow him on his website, www.laidi.com, and a great resource if you're interested in being with a pro. Ashraf is.
Appreciate it. My pleasure.
You're very welcome, Ashraf. Everyone have a great day. See everyone Wednesday. And remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Thank you, Ashraf. See you, everyone. You're welcome, Tom.